Hey everybody, it's Chrissy K. Rollins here. Welcome to this week's energy update. It has been quite a time. I don't know if y'all have been feeling it. I think I kind of made reference to this last week that there's been some really intense shifts and upheavals. I will tell you from my own personal experience, from my own life, and from those that I've had conversations with, there's been a lot of deaths, a lot of people that are transitioning right now and passing over to the other side. So if you have had that kind of upheaval in this next level of evolution, know that you're not alone. Know that you're not alone. These intense times, they make me think of this. I once heard this analogy, and I just find it to be so relatable when it comes to life. Think about, pull to your mind's eye right now, any great work of art that's in the form of a sculpture. Think about a famous sculpture. Think about one that has either touched your heart or moved you if you've gone to a museum, or you can pull up like a famous sculpture like David or something like that. For every masterpiece that is created, there is agreements made with that slab of marble, right? That big slab of marble that gets chiseled away to reveal this masterpiece. The pieces of the marble itself, some of them agree to stay and be part of the finished masterpiece. And some of them agree to be chipped away. That is their part. Their part that they serve is to be removed so that this final product, this beautiful masterpiece, can be revealed in the end. And when we're amongst the chipping away and we haven't yet gotten to the masterpiece, I'm just riddled with chills. I don't know about y'all. But when we're just chipping away and we're not yet to the masterpiece, it can look like a hot mess. It can look like things are going terribly wrong. It can look like your vision will never come to fruition. There is dust everywhere. There's debris everywhere. You just broke off a big chunk that you did not know was going to go, and it's no longer there for you to work with. One of the lessons that I've learned from being a henna artist is that that's kind of the beauty of art. If it is a hot mess, much like life, if it is a hot mess, if it looks like everything has gone wrong, then you're not done yet. That's a sign to keep going, to keep moving forward, to keep chipping away and keep holding that vision and keep that fire lit inside you and that desire burning in your heart, because your work is not done yet. There is more work to do, and you will know that you are there at that state of completion or at that point of rest when that masterpiece begins to reveal itself. So right now we're in the chiseling away. We're in the refining stage. Any aspect of you that cannot bring forth the full fruition of what you desire, it is being chipped away right now. So it may feel like you are dying. It may feel like you are getting chipped away. Just know you are not being chipped away. You are being refined. We can think about, apparently I'm full of analogies today. We can think about it like pruning a tree, trimming back parts of a tree. The overall health of the tree doesn't depend on just removing the dead branches. There's also some really live, thriving branches that have to be trimmed. Because if you take a step back and you look at how this tree is going to grow, if you leave that branch in place, it's going to cut off the growth of another branch that is meant for stability, that is going to be fruit bearing. So it may look like you are losing. It may look like things are falling apart. I definitely talked about this last week. The creation and the destruction process are the same thing. In order to have the life that you desire and that you feel within you come to fruition, you have to have the life that you know it now destroyed. Can't have both in the same place, or else you'd already have them both, pretty much is what it comes down to. So if you have been losing loved ones or those close to your heart, know that they are part of that final masterpiece. Their contribution is to chip away, let the dust settle, take a step back, start to see how they carved out a portion of your personality, of your character, refining an aspect of your life that could never be refined, that can never be cultivated unless you experience this loss of another person, or perhaps this loss of some aspect of yourself that is just old and dead and is weighing you down, and life is trying to shake you up not to get you to do that thing again, but to get you to finally stop doing that thing. So if you're feeling the shake up, if you've been feeling the chips, you know, being chunked away, breathe and know that all is indeed well. We are on an upswing here. An upswing. We have the temperatures rising. We got the heat in the oven cooking. And we are coming closer and closer and closer to making it through this next shift. So all is indeed well. Things are ramping up, but not for your destruction, only for your evolution, only for the dying off of what was that will not be able to hold space with where you're going. So trust yourself, trust this divine unfolding, and let's see what the cards have to say. I'm going to look to my beloved Rumi here to shed a little bit more insight. What else do you have to say? What other message needs to come through before we wrap this up? And I invite you, after we wrap this up, to join me over in the Conscious Success community. It's my Facebook group here on Facebook. Anybody is welcome to join if you're into entrepreneurship or leadership or consciousness, into connecting with community, building community. That's what this group is all about. How to succeed despite yourself, pretty much, and how to move forward in a way that's really empowered and authentic and true to who you are. So join us over at Conscious Success Community, or you can go to bit.ly Conscious Success now. And I do a 3-card spread every single week. So shortly after I wrap this up, hop over in that group. You'll see 3 cards laid out. And today, the 1 card coming through for our conversation here is, what a perfect card. It's card number 14. Card number 14. So what do we do? What do we do from this point as this evolution continues, as this refinement continues, as these chips of this masterpiece are still being chipped away? You let love transform. You let love transform. And this is what our dear beloved friend and brother Rumi has to say about letting love transform. This is card number 14 for you number buffs out there. 2 lucky number 7s make 14. The spring of love arrives to transform the dust into a garden. The call is heard from the heavens to bid the wings of soul to fly. The sea becomes filled with pearls. The dry land receives the water of life. The stone becomes a ruby, and the body becomes all soul. Rumi. This oracle comes to you as a living spiritual gift. Whether you realize it or not, you have triumphed. You have blossomed, succeeded, cast aside that which is unworthy, and taken up love's way. How much delight there is from all those that walk this way of love, of life, to find another precious companion in their midst. You are welcomed into the world, this world where love finds a way. There is nothing impossible for love. It is not bound by the mind, and because of this, all manner of miraculous grace works through it in endless creative variety. The great beloved is a show-off, creating with such genius as to be breathtaking. Were we able to remain always in the heart, we would be constantly breathless in a fit of appreciation and awe so great, truly, there would not be even a slither of emptiness through which fear could enter. Detach yourself from expectation of timing. The harvest will be at the best time when the ripeness is just so. It always is. It always will be. Never your timing, or you get lucky when it is. Always divine timing. When the ripeness is just right, so utterly juicy and sweet, sooner would have been perfect. You shall not know with certainty that this is the best way. Not a moment sooner would have been perfect, nor a moment later. Absolute trust is the best way to adhere to the law of love. This gives you rather some energy to spare. Perhaps that might have otherwise been engaged in perpetuating worry and doubt. So what this card speaks of, when you run into the worry, when you run into the doubt, when you run into the fear, let love transform. Love is the orchestrator of all that is. Love has the power, endless creative possibilities. When you are stepping into the overwhelm, step out of the overwhelm, back into love. Let love transform. Put on those love glasses. Look through the eyes of love. Ask yourself, what would love do? And maybe your situation will not afford you the ability to extend that love outwardly. And if that's the case, that is perfectly fine. That is okay. There's no requirements of you at this point. But I do invite you, if you're having a hard time extending that love outwardly to the situation, bring that love inwardly in that situation. Give yourself that love as you go through it. Give yourself that love as you feel that angst. Give yourself that love as you feel that that frustration. Give yourself that love as you go through this cycle one more time. And if you've not been through the cycle, giving yourself that love as you go through it, I dare say, try it and see how many more of those cycles life has in store for you. Because what if life is just waiting for you to go through it one more time and love yourself along the way? You don't know until you go. And if you haven't tried it that way, I invite you to do that. Join me over in the Conscious Success community. Join me back here every week as I bring you this energy update, and definitely drop some comments below. Let me know. Does this hit home? Can you resonate with any of this? Is this helpful? Is this benefiting you? Is this helping you to make sense of what's going on in your world? Reach out to me. I would love to connect further. Thanks for watching. Consider sharing this. Definitely drop some likes, comments, loves if you found benefit in this. And if you're finding this on my YouTube channel, go ahead and hit subscribe. I post this every single week. Would love to keep in touch. All right. Bye, y'all.